Okay, we're here today with Tommy Parker, and today is June the 16th. We're going to ask Mr. Parker a couple of questions. Mr. Parker is vying for the Comanche Nation Business Committee Secretary-Treasurer seat. Again, you can go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Tommy Parker, and I'm a candidate for the Secretary-Treasurer position of the Comanche Nation Business Committee. I'm here with Mr. Nido, and I'd like to thank him for this opportunity to come before you and espouse some of my ideas about what is coming in the future. But thank you, Mr. Nido.
Thank you, Mr. Parker, for coming out for us. First question that we have slated today are, what are your complete qualifications to become the Comanche Nation Business Committee Secretary-Treasurer Representative?
I think that my major qualification to take on this job is that I was the first chairman of the Comanche Tax Commission. And we established that office and ran it, I think, very well. It continues to be a successful operation here at the tribe, and I know it helps to fund many of the programs and opportunities that we have here at the tribe. So that being said, I'm somewhat familiar with this particular environment, having worked as a chairman prior to this. I understand about working in a committee. Also, I understand that I'm only one person in that committee, and no matter what I may want to do, I can only choose which one I want to fight for, and then hopefully convince others to join my ideal. But other than that, I'm an honest, hardworking individual. My father, Randallette, taught me that very early in my life, and it's served me very well all through my life. I have a very deep care and commitment for our tribe. Also, recently my father passed away, and the tribe stepped up and helped me in many ways. And it made me realize that I need to pay back to the tribe. So that's my emphasis in seeking this position, is I want to come and help the tribe to prosper and help all tribal members that find themselves in need of our services.
Okay, thank you. What are your goals for the CBC Secretary-Treasurer position if you were to win the nomination for it?
Well, my major goal is to come and expend my very best effort in the proper running of this particular office. I want to come and I want to make a difference for the tribe. I want to help us prosper. I want to see us get ahead. I want to see that we become the person that is the example, for how tribal businesses are done. I want people to be jealous of us. I want them to want to be some of us. So my goal is to just come and do the very best I can. And the other thing is that I'm a retired person currently, and I'm able to devote all of my time to this particular project. I don't have an outside job. I don't have anything else that can stand in my way. So I pledge to give all of my effort if I'm given the opportunity to take over this post.
Okay. Where do you honestly see the tribe financially in 3 years?
I honestly see the tribe more prosperous than we are currently. And I hope that it doesn't take 3 years for us to see a difference. I think that we can begin to change that, almost immediately. And there's many ways to do that. We can reevaluate how we're currently spending our money, and we can move it from places where we feel like we're not getting a good return on it, and we can use it in ways that benefit us even more, that profit us. So I see that the other thing is I realize how the assets of the tribe are very large, and I feel like that if others had this form of assets, you couldn't hold them back. And so the same is true with us. There's no reason we aren't more prosperous, and I see us as more prosperous, and I think that's just the tip of the iceberg. That's just the beginning. Once we get going, it's kind of like something falls off a cliff. It doesn't matter how fast it's going when it falls, because it's going to fall very fast and get more and more fast. So I think once we begin going in the proper direction and we get things going the right way, it'll just pick up its own momentum and it'll carry us forward.
Good. What changes, if any, do you want to make to the tribe, to the way that the government is ran right now?
Gosh, that's a tough question. I don't know of any specific changes that I would be working on right now. I'm sure that if I do get this opportunity, I will have more. But I think one of the things that we really need is more openness in our government. I think the people need to be aware, and that's one of the things that I hope to accomplish is I want to establish lines of communication. If tribal members have a problem or they're just confused or they want to know, I welcome them to call me. And if I don't know, I'll certainly find out, and I'll see that you find out too.
Okay. Many people have asked and demanded for a tribal court system. Question is, will you establish one, and what are some of your ideas about the tribal court system?
I think our own tribal court is a very good idea because currently, we're sort of at the mercy of the CFR court and a judge who doesn't seem to be particularly leaning in our way. So, it's probably at best somewhat of a crapshoot to go up there with any of our issues, whereas I would prefer that we had our own venue and it's looking out for our interests, not only our interests, but, the other tribal members as well, if they come for, some sort of court-related action. I think that, I think it's a great idea, and I think that if we can, with our new council, Echo Hawk and Crow and Dunleavy, I think that they can lead us in the proper direction to establish a court, and I think it's a great idea. Not only, maybe, we already have a children's court, right? So it might just be a matter of sort of expanding that thing because the framework has got to be there. So I'm all in favor of a Comanche court.
Okay. What is your promise in the matter of turning in CBC minutes to both the BIA, Bureau of Indian Affairs, and to the General Counsel?
I think that it's a requirement. I think that we have to, and if it's not being done, then we need to address that. And for several reasons. One, that we're compliant with the law that we're operating under, and two, that we're forthcoming to our tribal members. They need to know, and if they don't know, then they're potentially subject to gossip and rumors and stuff, and then when that stuff starts, then it opens a whole can of worms that causes you lots of problems. So I think openness in government is something that's very important, and I understand that the Secretary-Treasurer position is the one responsible for turning in the minutes. Well, I can assure you that I will be on that, and I will not fail in that mission. And I also, maybe we can get with your IT department, and maybe we can post the minutes on the website and allow people, it's open record. They can come and attend the meeting if they want to. But, just give them an opportunity to get to it. And, the truth is the truth. It sets you free. So I think we...
Okay. Next is, what is your stance on the proposed 60% revenue allocation plan?
I have a minor understanding of the 60% RAP, and I understand that, we had a vote for the General Counsel, and I voted in favor of it as well, So, but the thing is, even though we passed it and we expected it to come about, it doesn't occur until the BIA approves it and the NIGC also approves it. So the thing is, even though we voted it and everybody expected it, that's not the end. We have to get these other people to allow us to do what we decided to do. So in that respect, I sure, I'd like to have more money when I get my per capita check. But also I understand that, that one of the reasons that it was denied is because the NIGC says that if we pull that money from the tribe and all the uses that it has for it and give it to the individuals, there's a potential that we don't have enough money to economically develop or even to support ourselves. If that's the case, then we're going to begin to dwindle and we're going to get smaller and smaller. And that's a slippery slope that's very difficult to regain your position when you lose it. So I understand that we don't have it, and I would like to see us get it. And maybe there's a way we can work with them and work out a solution that would allow everybody to be happy. But I think that, the other thing is that we don't have the ability to just do what we want to do. And I think that we have to work within the framework of the people that are implementing these programs that we're working with. So there are requirements, and we'll have to do them. I think if we can increase the per capita to the individual, then we certainly will. But I don't want to do it at the risk of the entire tribe.
Okay. Earlier this year in the General Council meeting, the General Council voted out the economic development portions of the budget. If the 2005 revenue allocation plan says that 25% must go to economic development, what's your solution?
I think that if it says that we must, we must. I don't believe there's any wiggle room there. I think we're forced to spend that money in that way. But let me say this: I'm 100% behind economic development. I think that's one of the most important things that's going on out here. We have to look to the future. We have to think about our children's future and our grandchildren's future, and what are they going to inherit when we're gone. And if it's just gaming revenue that we've been living off of for all this time, there certainly might come a point when that declines or even goes away. And if we don't have any place to go, if we haven't set up, routes to a better future, then we're going to find ourselves floundering, and we're just going to go the way of the dinosaur. So I feel like that we need to continue with the economic development. I understand that we had some difficulty with this past one, but that's just shows us what we need to do. We learn from our mistakes, just like anyone, and a mistake is not a bad thing. It's an opportunity. And plus, if you'll learn from it, you can avoid that pitfall in the future and you can get ahead. So I think that we need to fund that. I think we maybe need to have more oversight of our economic development in the future, given what has occurred in the past. So I believe that we would have to do that. And not only that, I kind of questioned that was on the budget where the people were allowed to vote it out, because actually I don't think they could have.
Okay. In the last report that we've received, we found out that there were less than 17% of Comanche tribal members that are employed at our casino. As Secretary Treasurer, what is your promise that this will increase, and do you think that you have an estimate for us?
Well, I think I would love to see that increase. I could increase it myself as a former employee if I go back. Right. I can raise it a little bit. But the other thing that may be a bit of a confusing sort of a statistic, because some Comanches work there and they left for whatever reason. If a person leaves to improve themselves, I'm all for them 100%. But if there's a person that left because there was a problem at that casino, then I think that's something that needs to be addressed. So I would think if I want to increase Comanche employment there, one of the first things I would do is gather all the former employees together and see if they're interested in returning, And they're already trained, they understand where we're working at, and if there was a problem, then we can work it out, And the other thing is that maybe we need to look at like tribal business, job fairs for the youngsters and things like that, and get them interested in coming into the casino business. The other thing too, I think that we need to consider is maybe not everybody wants to work at the casino. It's a different sort of job. Having worked there, I was a poker dealer, and there were a lot of times that I had the late shift.